Hey everybody, how's everyone doing? Oh, screen is really blurry. That is weird. Hold on a second. Let's see if I can figure out real quick what's going on with my screen here. That is super blurry. Uh, toot, toot. All right. Apparently I had too many things. I'm actually in the middle of playing around with my settings, and maybe I think I had two different. It looks like I have two different chat boxes going laying on top of each other. All right, welcome everyone. I hope everyone's having an awesome day. I'm having a pretty good day so far this morning. Interesting, actually, we had an outage Friday morning. The funny part is it was one of those stories where one little part of our app had a problem, and it sort of brought down the rest of the app. It didn't actually, but no one could get in because we blocked everyone. So doing some work this morning with front end guys to fix that. Which is a good thing to think about. I want to make sure that just because one piece of your application goes down doesn't bring everything else down. I mean, effectively for our users, it looked like for about 3 hours we had a complete outage, and it was just because, like I said, one component couldn't connect, and so our whole main dashboard, primary dashboard, looked like the whole app was down. So anyway, let's go ahead and get back to what we're working on. Actually, we're working on Saturday. I did a pop-up stream Saturday evening. Basically, story is I'm trying to do most of this development of this ORM on the stream, which is at least good because it forces me at least to work for it for a little bit over an hour every day. That's one of the problems I have. Sometimes I get so busy with everything else. That's a good thing about doing these streams. So yeah, let's go ahead and switch over. I was gonna try to stream last night, but working on Copalooza, trying to get that ready to go. Working on all the technologies. Actually, last night I was working on the budget. Unfortunately, I still need some answers from some vendors before I can actually come up with that budget, but we're definitely going to have a much cheaper price ticket than we normally have. Of course, it's not going to be in person. It's all going to be virtual. But that's what we're working on. All right. So in here, again, we're working on this ORM to build out for Gremlin on Cosmos. And eventually I'll probably change it a little bit so it's not specific to Cosmos. But for the moment, since that's what I need, that's what I'm going to make it at. Going back to this, what is currently the sample console, because that's where I have all my code running. And I should have put a to-do. Oh, I have some to-do. That is my task list is not showing. There we go. Yeah. We're not going to worry about that one right now. If no value in graph. Okay. Oh, okay, yeah. So that's great. But where was I? Sorry. Should have added to do where I was. Let's see. We were. No, I was about to add something else in. Oh goodness. So this is why you definitely want to make notes of where you left off. Let's see here. Let's run this. Maybe that'll remind me where I was at. Visual Studio, thank you for not remembering this setting. So startup. Sure enough, we are getting our statement. This is a Gremlin statement to add a vertex. Adding the event. There's its ID. There's its name. I really don't remember where I was doing Friday or Saturday. I know I was about to do something next. I know we're handling. Got the handling of values not there. All right. Oh, I know what I need to do next. So Gremlin has different ways of defining different property types. So let's see, Cosmos DB, Gremlin data types. Of course, I'm not finding it very easily. Go to the docs. I know there's documentation's in there. Most everything is a string, but something numbers are not a string. We want to be able to handle that type of thing. So let's see if I go to concepts, probably no. Reference. How to build. Properties. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to handle. You can't send an object as a property, so we're gonna have to do something to handle that. Because obviously a regular class could have an object, which basically that should create an edge in there. We're gonna have to define some definitions there. All right, here we go. Non-primitive JSON types use string, number, true or false types. Null values aren't supported. Here, let's handle this part of this. So, so string, number, true, false type. Values aren't supported. All right, so let's do this. So in here, oh, and I know the other code I need to change. Let's add a to-do item in here. Go to here. What I learned Saturday night, I didn't realize it. So what I did in the past was, you know, when I was working with attributes, I had this method that I would go grab the attributes out, you know, basically return this to me. I don't know if this is just newer, documentation has at least been updated since I wrote that code, the last time I wrote this code. But you can actually do this easier right here. And that's so much nicer. Actually, let's do that first. Let's clean this code up. And then let's go ahead, so I don't forget this later. We'll add a to-do of add this comment directly to that. And let's see, that's also sorting by array. Okay, objects as properties. This in here. So those, yeah, definitely want to make sure we support those types. What I want to do first, though, we're gonna. So I got my vertex attribute here. Where do I? Am I calling this method? I don't need to call this method, which is great because the biggest problem here, other than I don't need to do it, is I was having to go through every single attribute or property in the attribute and grab those out. I don't need to do that. So let's do this. Here, let's do var, or no, oh yeah, vertex attribute, graph property attribute equals graph property attribute get custom attribute type of e type of graph property attribute. That works. Let's see here. We also just notice this. That was spelled. There we go. Spelling. Typo in there. All right, let's see if this returns me what I turn. We run this thing, get to our breakpoint error, so that's a good thing. Yeah, not calling this correctly. So I want to so get custom attribute. The maybe type of, well, maybe this is why I was doing this before. No, I could pass in a member info. Here we go. This is the method. This is how we work. So let's call change this to property, and also this true. Inherit the stuff. Now let's run. Now if I check this, there we go. We've got our property, and sure enough, we've got it. There we go. That's nice. Close that. Now we can get rid of this code. Always nice we can get rid of code. Makes things so much simpler. All right. Now, the next thing I want to look at is, all right, this one here. And we need, we're going to do this several different ways. So I'm actually not worried about the string, because basically everything right now, we're just automatically creating everything as a string, because here's basically what's typing out is this line. Or no, that's not what's typing. Right now, this is what we're piping out. Now, what we want to do I have a, are we not, oh wait, we're not doing the dates? Well, that's interesting. I set start and end date. What happens with those? I just now noticed that. Property name, property about, property name is skipping. All right, let's look at what's going on there. So we're going to need to step through this. Get the properties. Doesn't equal default. Let's go. Okay, that's brick right there. All right, so we're going to come in here. This property we're working on is the, oh, okay, yeah, event ID. Never mind. I'm seeing there in quotes. And all right, I'm good with, so event ID we're getting. And the next one we're working through is that we should be getting name. Now we're on about, have that. Location name. Here's the location, or here is a postal address, which, or location, I should say, is a postal address. It should not hit that because it's yeah, but skipping that one because it has a default value. All right, now we're looking at start date. Okay, what is going on here? So if I look at start date, so I want to go in. All right, so you have to type. Getting past here is not getting past it. That's where our problem. If type of string shouldn't be equaling that. That's false. We have false. Oh, okay. Wait, what am I doing? Why did I have this line? So then, yeah, it's checking if it's false. Oh, well, that's why it's not handling strings. Okay. All right. Now I see why we're not getting our date. Let's do this. Let's okay, what we're gonna do, just thinking this through my head here a little bit. Do a switch. I'm not sure I can do this. I think actually I can't do this. Property type. Case type of string. I don't think I can do. Can't do that. I don't think I. All right. Well, that would have made this easier. That's okay. All right. So if property type. Do I want these all individual? Because basically I'm trying to handle what happens with the different types in. Let's see. So in here we go, get the key name, do that, and always create that, get those attributes. Is null, we don't really need to do. Oh, okay, that's, I'm doing that. Oh, okay, this was really checking of null. But okay. But I'm already checking that there. Oh, okay. All right, I'm already checking that's null. Yeah. But this handles string. This handles string. All right. Actually, this if statement is fine. Because this will grab it if it's a string. We can handle a string. But really, this is doing some things that are basically common here. We're gonna get the key. This is not gonna change. This line's not gonna change. Property attributes, greater than 0. Probably not gonna change. Really, the only thing that changes. What if we change the? Let's do this. Or, and here we'll say property type equals type of string, and doesn't equal string is white space property test to string. Actually, now that I think about this, we can make this. I don't really need this one. I'm gonna check whether it's default. Which, sure enough, default you know, basically it's the same thing that is. The default, still not giving. Basically, that's a C#7 reference. Basically references that it's null or the default value for that. Actually, we really don't need this line. What is this hurting us? If I was to take this out, this condition here, additional, and then let's just make basically I was trying to prevent this, right? An empty string. All right, it doesn't really mean anything. But in reality, it doesn't, I mean, if that's what's in there, that doesn't hurt there. It's actually probably good to send that over. Just make sure that this doesn't blow anything up. Shouldn't. Yeah, it doesn't blow anything up. I definitely have more stuff in here, which is good. Now, our statement looks more like this. So, event, property. So the about is just an empty string. That's not a very good about string, but. And now we're getting our start dates, end dates. This is not correct. See, there is an instance where it is not. Yeah, we're going to want to handle this better because that is definitely not null, but that's not. We don't want to store that in there, especially not a two-string of that. We'll handle that in a moment. Okay. Let's just change this to SOLA event. Hard code that real quick. And let's out. So Toxic Turtle, I don't know if you send something that just looks like it's a link, something, but definitely not liking what you're sending. Nightbot is not liking what you're sending in. All right, so what I want to do now, let's just test this in Gremlin or in graph database just to make sure we've got something working. So let's just do this in code. All right, so let's come up with the database we've been using in our test bed for this. All right, and database. Only get to it. There we go. Go ahead and drop everything. Apple or What am I doing wrong? Oh, doing well. Okay, to still keep that V in there. All right, now add this in here. I just want to make sure this runs. Yeah, there we go. So there we have our test event that we're creating, and we can see those values. And sure enough, the dates way how we were. So what I want to do, I want to handle numbers next. So let's go in here, go to our event detail. Even though we only don't have a number that makes sense in here, just add something in here for right now. Public int. This is a number. I'm not going to worry about any attributes right now. And so now if I go here, what's in there? Now what I want to do, I want to check for numerics. Oh, it's C# check for numeric values. That's really what we want. Let's see what. I don't want parse for an int. Looking for something a little bit more generic than that. Just parsing for an int. So let me make sure I've got this straight here. This really well actually wasn't. There is. You're looking at for actual list of types of port. Because I don't remember if they support like decimals or if it's just like an integer value. I know the documentation's here somewhere. Find it right now. Oh, let's do this. Fill my whole directory. Looking, I do actually have this document. I have it in a presentation. Let's see. This is a version of a presentation, or this is a presentation I gave. It was an all-day workshop. Pretty sure some reference slides in here showed Ocean Gremlin. Okay, yeah, so here's what it supports. Integer, byte, double, okay. Floats, integer, twice. Long, string. Let's do the easy one first. Let's do the booleans. So, no, it's not when I started, but let's do this real quick. I do need to finish up around 1 o'clock today. I seem to say that every day. I will actually have some days where I don't have to finish right at 1 o'clock, but today I do because actually I'm taking my car in for its first oil change. The whopping 1,700 miles that are on it. So I don't drive it anymore because of the pandemic. So well, let's just public bool actually my original database that I was taking this from, I have this. I'm gonna add this in here. Sure enough, now right now we run this as if we can take out this code, determine I don't need that. Well, actually I don't want to do that. So if I run this, get this back, and sure, so we see, it's interesting, you didn't get the property name. There's something we have to fix. Okay, so if I, so it doesn't have the attribute, so it's not getting the property name, but it should be. As a matter of fact, I mean, it's got handling. Apparently, it's not working very well. It's definitely not handling that at the moment. Well, that has it to do. What I want to do is let's just go ahead and handle the part we're working on. Add the prop. We'll add the. So the funny part is I just put that. I think if I even just put an empty, here's. If I just put an empty one, I think that. Yeah, sure enough, even just having an empty attribute. So I definitely have a problem if the attribute doesn't exist. I need to fix that. Alright, let's just handle this boolean for right now. So what I'm going to do, we'll start with this. We'll start with if property type, typo string. Unfortunately, I can't do this in a switch statement because the switch has to be a constant value. So if it's a string, then we're going to do this. Actually, okay, hold on. This code here There we go. So the key, we get the key no matter what. Then we're going to handle our, getting that value. And I really don't need to do this if it's a string. Because like a date would handle it fine, or something else, because it would get the two string. So actually, okay. Let's check for a boolean. So if it's a boolean, then we're just going to do, and this is going to be gremlin.append property key, and no single quote property, we mean by property get value. Do like that. Else that actually should handle a boolean. So now everything else is handled, and I'm missing. Okay, I'm missing the end quote, but working for the in parentheses, I should say. Now we should have. How did I just fix? Oh. Yeah, it's in the wrong place. Completely wrong place. Now we've got that. Sure enough, if I take this and I'll go back over the visual code. Drop it. This. Got the days out of here. They resolve some of the faults. I was kind of wondering about that. I think it has to be small. Yeah. So we'll just go here and we'll change this. String to low. And now if we look at this, I should have it small. All right. And just to be sure, take out this days because we're handling that correctly. Stop everything. Take that one. We'll add it. There we go. We have that. And sure enough, if we check this current event, that's how we run it. All right. So now what I like is this numeric. And looking at this, not this. Okay. This checks just for int. But like if it's a float, that won't work. String that represents numeric. Here's the Microsoft documentation. It's just the same thing. One example shows how to try parse a decimal value. And they're just doing E. That's annoying. Man. You know, I mean, what sucks is a long time ago, VB had, you know, is numeric, and it would tell me exactly what I want to know if it's just a numeric value. It looks like the only way I'm going to get this done, parsing numeric strings. Oh, that's okay. This is just parsing. I don't want to parse it. This isn't good. We need to do a type check for each of them. Actually, seems you actually parse them. If I do this on int, does that work? I mean, that's when it handles very large integers, long decimals. If that's the case, you would need guess what we need to do is just check every single one. Boy, that's annoying. All right. Other side here so I can see it. So let's just private static Boolean is numeric. Pick an object test value. And then we'll just do, I mean, and we'll just return false. All right, I'm looking at this code here that my see here's all that false for. So we can basically do that. We'll have bool is integer int equals int try parse so we'll do test value I have to do that? I forget if I can do this. I think I have to out the value. Oh, I can do this. I can do out var number. Right? Do it like that. So I can pass in any object. Sure enough, I could later move this to be an actual extension. This is an object that will allow anything. All right, so that would and then this would just say if isn't return true. Then we can add those others. But let's just verify that's doing what I want it to do. Now, obviously, I need to encapsulate this all better. I shouldn't be doing this so many times like this. So before our number, obviously this will only handle ints. Now, yeah, now our number. All right, so looking at these slides, we can support byte, double, float, integer, long. We'll add byte, long, float, and double. Not handle decimals? I guess, well, yeah. All right. So we have that. Then we'll add bool is byte, long is int try parse, that's value to string, out or number. I'm going to do this multiple times, or that's going to be often thought. Not doing anything with these values, but as far as that, if is long, true. Is byte. Pull is bite. Alright, and then we wanted floats, doubles and floats. See that? It's that line above here. Hey, hi Flicker, how's it going? So you get any further on your chatbot you've been working on? All right, that should catch all those. Like double float. Again, that should those all the types that we support. Yeah, but I think I can make it based on storage. Yeah, that makes sense. Local storage, JSON's definitely the way to go. All right, let's. I'm gonna try something here real quick. Let's just create something here simple. G event or add vertice. Let's create something real quick. And then what I want to create in here is okay. I was wondering, my phone kept on popping up. Like our Outlook accounts are getting attacked right now. You know, a whole bunch of hey, you got a voice mess. We don't have voicemail. All right, so I'm just gonna add this, and I'm gonna add property best decimal. Am I able to do this? 150. Okay, so no, that is not done. Okay. Or I'm doing something else wrong. Advertise. Oh, okay. Helps if I actually read the error message. Property, event ID. Add in there. Yeah, I can definitely do it like that also. So we'll want to check for decimal. So bool is decimal equals decimal try parse. Test value to string out var decimal number. Gotta figure out what I want to display. So remind me again. I mean, so you're working on the chatbot, but what is the goal of the chatbot? I forget if you told me that Saturday night or not. So that should be good now. Quotes. Always. So I'll look at a C sharp number types. Attribute. I'm curious, so if I pass it a spike, does that? I'm assuming that's not, you know, like if I pass, no, I think that's going to return a false. Do a quick test here. Bar or S-byte. Not that I actually would use an S-byte, but it just, or sign byte, I should say, but S value equal -20, whatever. And then console right line is numeric test value. Just want to see. I think that's going to return. Well, it returns a true. Well, I guess the byte is returned. I guess because it is a byte. That's why I'm just trying to make sure if I pass in one of these last reuse things. And even in is true. That's interesting. Maybe I don't need to do as much testing here. Long is true. Byte is, that's interesting. Byte is false. Oh, that's because, okay, I get it. So an S byte would equal an integer or long because that's in their valid values. So what about U long? That would be a long. What about U long? I don't know if Gremlin works. There's a U long. Because we're not on stupid stuff. Now if I run that, hold on, hi Flick, I'm gonna look at your message here in just a second. Is in is false, that's what I expect. Expect is long to be false. Byte should be false. Double is true. Interesting what is getting caught and what is not. So, okay. I think what we could do, I think we could get rid of these, or here, we get, because the long is going to work. Now, let's test something else. And I do want to look at, I want to see what High Flicker was saying there. Chat. Let's go here. I need something here. Actually, Karina's my wife's name. Karina and Megan end up in a lot of my test code. Non-prototype big image. Okay, so that would not be allowed, which is fine. So really, I need to rename that. But we don't want a big integer in there. That's fine. But it said doubles are allowed? Okay, let's. All right. Well, hold on. I do want to look at. Okay, Qbot. One runs join command. Add them to queue. And then I want to pull the top 8 people from the queue and add them to another queue where it's in. Okay. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. So talking about making a flowchart. I mean, that's what I usually do. Usually I just write it on a piece of paper and write, my flow, the way how I want things to work. That really does help a whole lot, make you think through everything, figure out how you want to do this. It does sound really neat what you're working on. I'm kind of curious. I'm looking at, so I run Copalooza, and I'm thinking about doing giveaways here, but there might be other things I could do with that. So I'll be curious once you get that working, how that turns out. Talk about clickbait. I'll recognize some of these American Gladiators. Most everyone is probably too young to remember Gladiators. Remember that well. That was always a fun show to watch. Teenager. Alright. I wanted to do Gremlin, Cosmos, EB, Gremlin, data types. That's what I was looking for before. I want to verify because this is definitely, this blew up on a big integer. Oh wait, where's my documentation I wrote here? I can support a double. Double upper limit. Let's look at C# double. I mean, doubles are really good. Okay. Not much documentation on the Q system in general. Oh, okay, so you're having troubles with Q system. Trying to think of where I gotta admit, there's I mean, I'm not doubting it, but there's gotta be some documentation on Q systems. I mean, it's a pretty common thing in software development. Maybe limitations on JavaScript, because I know you're doing JavaScript. Now I'm really... now you got me kind of curious on queues. So, all right. Well, I mean, let's think about this a little bit. So you're trying to do a queue. You know, I don't know if you want to go to this extreme. You know, Azure has queues. Products. Look at queue storage. Queue integration. Okay, sure, I get what you're saying. Well, one thing is a point. So, you know, if you want something that's built out, it would work anywhere, right? Queue storage. Now, I mean, it's technically a price with this, but I don't think you ever. I mean, so you can see, like, this is 4.5 cents per gigabyte. You know, you'll never get to that type of. So you basically pay 4 5 cents Yeah, you'll have a gigabyte data. I don't know. Again, I'm an Azure guy, so that's the first place I go thinking. But I mean, the nice part is you know, you could do that. You can, you know, basically allow Azure to manage that. And sure enough, if we were to go to the documentation, it's going to be storage. Do storage. But I was just looking to see. Give you .NET code. Yeah, there we go. This JavaScript code. Hey, I'm not saying this is definitely the way to go, but I mean, this might be one possibility of yeah, connect using so I've used these Azure queues quite a bit. I mean, I don't think I've got anything in use right now with them, but they are nice and it's fully implemented, right? So it's the whole idea of it goes on the queue. It's I know it's definitely. I know the default definitely is first in, first out. Can't remember if there's way because there are different queues. You have first in, first out. You could have you know, last in, first out. I can't remember. Azure Queue Storage allows you to change the queuing option or not. I bet it does, but I don't remember off the top of my head. And it's fast. I mean, it's super fast. So. Funny, I use queues more than anything else for error handling. So when I have something else airing off, I'll send it off to a queue, and then I'll have something else to handle that queue, like for like a second try type thing. That might just be a possibility, and that'd be kind of cool because you'd be learning Azure while you're doing at least one little piece of Azure. Like I said, the costs you wouldn't even be paying $1 a month to do this, and really not even that much. Prior to joining, yeah, I mean you would definitely have to handle that in your code, but that could definitely be doable. All right, getting a little bit back to here, looking for. Data types. Officially list data types, not my documentation that maybe is not 100%. Not finding this documentation. It was at least a year ago I said in public that you could do floats. Okay, here we go. Here's what I'm looking for. Float values. Double value. Let's look up Tinkerpot. Tinkerpop is the project that Gremlin falls under. Look at how they define a float. Probably the way how Java would. Excuse me. humongous number. Yeah, so high fluctuation. I mean, that makes sense. Sure enough, make sure I was looking at stream elements. I'm thinking about switching over to stream elements. One of the things it has, not that I get that many followers and such, but like your activity log, it actually shows it, and I can click on them and take them off. So you know, similar to what you're talking about right there. All right, I think I'm getting too deep into these values. I definitely, I think what I'm gonna do, at least for now, and sure enough, I think we need to handle this better. So what we can do, verify a long JSON box to hold. I would think it would, but I'm not 100% sure. Let's back here along. Code. That definitely works. The long definitely works. I don't know, kind of interesting. Oh, hold on. Let's test trying to test a float here. Let's test because the U-long is not working. Float is bigger than that, so that's why I'm a little bit confused. Float value, I forgot that was in there. -1. Just to be sure. So that should pass. Should get a true out of this. Get a true out of this. Why am I getting an alert? Calendar alert, which. Oh. Okay. Apparently I set something at the wrong time. Yeah. Or maybe that's why this works. Maybe I'm overthinking this. I've just been overthinking this. That's okay. So floats do work, but floats are not the same thing as an integer or an unsigned integer, which is kind of interesting. Okay. So we can definitely make this simpler. All right, I can. I might be able to, simple as just check a float. Probably have to still, I might still have to check. Well, I know this will work. Change this to an int. All right. Anything? What? All right. So yeah, so that returns a true. So that's good. Does this? So does this work if I give it a decimal value? Just trying a couple things here real quickly. Okay, that works. Okay. Now, but does that? Big integers. So, all right. What I need to do now, I think I've got. We can integer long string value. So if it's bigger than a long, then we want to turn it into a double. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and make a note, and then we'll actually wrap up for the day, or for the time period. Let's see here. What I want to do. Add. Oops. Do add handling for integers over, because they'll come up as a float, but a float is different than a big integer. So I will handle it over a long and we'll convert to float. Right? And that should solve that problem. Include long, bigger decimals, so forth. Actually, I mean, well, I need to change it. So instead of being just a Boolean, we need to change. We actually do need to get it out of its value and then change it. Okay. I do need to close it up there. Fortunately, it's hard trying to get things done when. This is why I debated what time to do these sessions. So let's see who is all on right now. I tell you, Lane Lux is always. And who else is on? What is C# Fritz doing? Oh, that sounds interesting. Big maps with single R. Single R is really, really cool. All right, so let's we're gonna move over to Mr. Fritz. That one there. So again, I appreciate everyone joining me today. Didn't get as much done as I was hoping to, but that's my fault. Kind of got little bit down a rabbit hole with this those number of things. I might go online tonight. Because like I said, I'm trying to, anytime I'm working on this project, I'm trying to do that online. Really just depends. I do have to do some things with Copolas tonight, but I'm actually meeting with a vendor today at 3. So that, although really I should just have to replug in this number. So long story short, I might go online tonight. Otherwise, we'll pick right back up tomorrow, 11:30. We're at today. I should actually have a little bit more time tomorrow. Just taking a look. Yeah, I don't have something immediately after, so I want it to end right at 1 o'clock tomorrow. But, so I'm gonna move us over to C# Fritz, and so we'll raid him, and I hope everyone has an awesome day. All right, 1 second. All right, there we go.
My stream
What?
with 5 viewers.
No, so OneDrive should be able to
Oh, it's just a
copy
OneDrive
them.
thing. Okay.
Yeah. So, all right, that USB stick isn't working for me. Look at this. Look at this.